Hello everybody and welcome to the short introduction of the web interface of the Gaussian-based role-playing system for Shadowrun, in short GABAROS. Let's start by typing the URL into your browser, which is sessionmob.de port 81/GABAROS. Enter. Here we go. So if you're not already logged in, can type your username, in this case Serbitar, which is mine, your password, and hit login. Then you are presented with a character selection screen. In this case there are quite some characters here. Or create a new one. You can select the master, give it a name, gender, race. Only the master can see the dice rolls you're making and add into combat and things like this. In this case, I'm going to take my guardsman here. So you see I'm my own master here. His name is Guardsman, he's a male human. And then I can go to 3 different options here. I have Manage Character, View Character, and Game Information. With the Manage Character, I can add a variety of options and things, stuff. Here I have XP, which in Shadowrun is basically karma. Maybe this is getting renamed someday. I can add subtract money, can change my attributes. Maybe look at this. So if I want to change my attribute here to 40, I can hit submit, and then my XP value changed because having a higher coordination value is more expensive than having a lower one. And I can change my skills here. You see here that different skills have different weight. So increasing armed combat is more expensive than increasing impact weapons, and this is because armed combat includes all of these 3 here. So if I raise armed combat to some value, all of these here will be raised. In this case, the combat value was raised to 30, so all of the skills included in combat were raised to 30 here. So, and if I will upgrade this to 40, I only will have to pay the difference from 30. So let's try this one. And here, this is now 40, and all of the ones below are also 40. There's a variety of skills here. Lots and lots of skills. It's a 3-tiered system, which will become more obvious in another view. And then I can view my total skills. XP. I can add adept powers if I'm an adept. Most of these other pages here will look like this. There's some information here which I can browse. For example, I can want to look up a special power like blindside. I start typing and here blindside appears. Or let's look for something like ultrasound. Here, wide frequency adaptation. In the description, this shows up. So I'm not an adept. I'm not going to add adept powers, which depend on magic, and I don't have magic. So for example, if I wanted to have some improved running, that's the formula here, and it has magic in here, and if I don't have any magic, this will do nothing. So let's do something else. For example, add some wear. We have cyberware and bioware here. This character already has left cyber leg and a cyber skull. I can also look up the attributes of this cyber leg. So this cyber leg has a money. This is my money of the character. It has a total cost, free money, and I can maybe increase the strength. It's already 60. Maybe the coordination of the cyber leg to 40. Submit, and it's getting more expensive. So I go back to my view here, and maybe I want to add cyber eyes or something, or maybe look at the leg options. So there's lots of legs here, and let's just add maybe cerebral booster, no, maybe some reaction enhancers to show this. Let's find some of these. We have wide reflexes. Let's give them 2. So there's essence. If I install the wide reflexes, my essence goes down. So what else can we do? We can add damage and wounds. That's a basic interface here. There will be a better one in the view character segment. I can add fixtures to my wear, which is basically wear upgrades, which are directly installed, for example, in this cyber leg. Let's go into this one here. So I have capacity in my leg. The leg has muscles, bone, and skins, which are subcapacity, adds up to the total capacity, and so let's see what I can add in my leg. Or everything here. It's location, for example, I can add armor. There's a relative capacity, absolute capacity I can add. So my right leg skin has 2.5, and I can add some light cover here, for example, or something else. Maybe let's do it. Add some light armor cover, left leg. And now I have some used capacity here. What else can I do? I can add contacts, items, upgrade those items, decide which loadout an item is included in. Item can be in various loadouts. I can specify my computers, which is cyberdecks, comlinks, but also bigger nodes, mainframes, if my character owns one, or a couple SINs, and locations where my equipment is when it's not on my character. So now to the more interesting parts. I can view my character. Character has attributes. There are a couple of them. For example, size, strength, and I have an unaugmented value, which is the value without bio, cyberware, or anything else. The augmented one, including added powers, bioware, cyberware, and maybe in future nanoware. Then there's a temporary value, which includes spells, drugs, and encumbrance, and things like this. And then there's the final value, which includes damage. This character clearly must be undamaged because there's no difference between those two values. And then there's a mod value, which I'm not going to explain here. And I can roll a test on these, for example, an agility test, a secret one. No, that was not the secret one. Here's the agility roll. I'll try the secret one here. It says agility roll was sent, and the game master can just look the result up. So here, the guardsman just rolled agility twice. First one was visible, the second one wasn't. Here's his value, and here are the dice rolled and the final result. And a timestamp if you need it. So I can see this because I'm my own master, so this guardsman has Saboteur as his master. What else can I do? I can look at the stats. That's some derived stats. Walking speed, running speed, sprint speed without any tests, jumping, height, distance without any tests, combat statistics, reaction, action multiplier, how fast he can interrupt people, how long it takes him to perform actions, how much damage he can take before he gets a wound here, and see, it looks like the left leg has even a lower wound limit than the rest of his body, so maybe should increase some stat there. And then other statistic like here, that's Spontaneous modification maximum is something related to magic. Drain resistance also to magic. No drain resistance at all. Doesn't have magic. And psychological threshold, which basically tells us how insane he is because of his cyberware. So let's go on. We have the skills. As I said before, it's a tiered system. You see this here. For example, impact weapons belongs to the armed combat group, and armed combat belongs to the combat group. And what you see here are basically the skills we entered before, plus part depending on attributes. And there are various skills here. There's, I think, 6 major groups: combat, physical, processing, empathy, magic, technical, matrix, and locomotion. That's more than 6. And various subskills, which are in turn easier to increase, more or less expensive, but have a narrower field of use. And I can also do tests here, so let's do the often used visual perception test. This one is I see the result, and if I want to send my game master an invisible result for finding some hidden object, I can send a secret roll, and he can again look it up here. We have the visual rolls and the results. So what else can we do? We can look at the same list in an alphabetically ordered fashion, finding stuff easier. Wrestling, the last skill. Academic, first skill. And we can look how our XP were used, how the money we have was used, items, fixtures, where, and look at how our body part is, our body is built. So you have your body here. You have 6 main parts: head, upper torso, lower torso, left arm, left leg, right leg, and some statistics here. Essence. So the essence of an unmodified body part here, it says unaugmented, is 100. And let's look at the part of the left leg, which is completely cyber. There's no essence here. And you have 3 values for all of these. So that's the let's look, for example, at agility. Maybe look at the left arm. Agility is 31. In absolute terms and relative terms. And here is the contribution of the left arm for agility to the overall agility. So that's 15% here. And then we have some parts which are replaced using cyberware. For example, we have the cyber leg, which is replacing all the subparts here: muscles, bones, nerves, and skin. And then we have the wired reflexes too, which are replacing a large portion of the nerves in the right hand, right arm, left arm, apparently not in the legs, or here in the right. The leg, it's not replaced. We would need a wired reflexes 3 for this. And all the statistics, the physical ones, agility, constitution, coordination, strength, are calculated by adding up the different parts in here. So basically you can customize your whole body if you want to. So let's go on. What else can we see? We can perform some actions. These actions, the same window will be shown in the combat part, so I'll skip it. Look at my gear I'm having. I'm using an RS Alpha, SmartLink for the Ares Alpha here under barrel grenade launcher. I have some armor on, another weapon with a gas vent and smartling, and HK 227X with a gas vent and silencer. And even smartlink. So what else do we have? I can look at my weapons with the statistics. There's various values here. Net value, which is smaller than my actual value, most likely because I need a higher strength to use this. There's a minimum strength for all weapons. Basically, the more damage a weapon does, the higher strength it needs to be handled correctly. Damage, type of damage, penetration, range, how much bullet it can spew out, recoil, magazine size, hands I can shoot, which is the same options we will see in the combat window here. So just go over to armor, have armored clothing on, not on the head, but here is ballistic armor value and impact armor value. There's some rules for stacking, but in this case I only have armored clothing. And I can look at my computer. This guardsman doesn't have a computer, no comlink at the moment. Bad thing to do. I can go to combat. I can, for example, join a combat here. Have some modifiers for shooting, for example, distance to the target. Situational modifier. More is worse. So in this case, this guy is maybe aiming and shooting at an unaware target, no magnifications, not braced, no burst. So, and maybe try to shoot with the HK here. So the net value using these stats is positive. Net value of skill 0 would mean there's a 50-50 chance of hitting. And maybe let's try to shoot here. I can see the target was hit for 21 in the right leg. Here you can see all the modifiers, how this result came to be, if you want to know. And another thing I can do, as I said, I can join the combat. I'm in the combat 2 now. Apparently I already did some actions because my next action is at 35. Combat starts at 0 for everyone. If I want to interrupt somebody, I can do a reaction roll. Here, roll to 0. 20 plus 0 is 20. Of course, the game master can look this up again. His live view here, and then I can, for example, perform a complex action. The system seems to be stuck for some time, and then my next action is at 45. If I perform a simple action, the next action is 65. And here you see my history of actions. The game master can also look combat 2 up. He sees, okay, next initiative 65. There's 2 combatants in this combat, and can see when somebody's acting. So that's combat. Of course, then I have to damage my character sometime. That's my total life here. That's some modifiers. There's no damage for this character at the moment, so I'm giving him some. I can choose between fatigue, stun, physical, drain, stun, drain, physical. Let's give him maybe damage 30, penetration of 10, shoot him in the left arm, ballistic damage. Could have used impact or none. No percent damage, but absolute damage. Drain, for example, is percent damage. And no resist roll. So normal damage doesn't have a resist roll here. And wounding. So let's try it out. The character now has 20 points of physical damage. He had armor of 20, penetration of 10, and so the armor was reduced to 10. He had taken damage of 30, minus 10 is 20, and he has a wound on his left arm now, a physical wound here, and he has some modifiers. And now let's see what happens if he rests for 1 day with no medical care. The physical damage gets reduced. So he rests again for 1 day with pretty average medical care. Let's see. Now all the damage is gone, but the wound has not healed, so that takes some time longer. Let's say 5 days, some medical care. And now the wound is gone. And also gone the modifiers. So that's damage. What else can you do? There's a link to the wiki here. Some spirit statistics. So if you summon a spirit, you can look how good he is. Spirit of creation, a solid. See the statistics here. Going to go into this one, this moment, powers, and things like this. And more important, I can look at all the tables which are used here behind the scenes, which are a couple. For example, races. So we have different races here, and they get different starting modifiers to their attributes. So, for example, a troll has a strength modifier of 1.1. This may sound small, but the base strength is calculated by size, meaning a character having a larger size also has a larger strength. And trolls, because of their tougher build and more muscles, they have even more muscles than a comparable human of their size, so they get an even more increase here. And dwarfs have less agility and things like this. So what else can I show? Finally, for example, here in skills, you have a sidebar, which brings you to the appropriate point in the wiki. For example, task resolution. You end up at the wiki, which is basically the rulebook, and here you can look up how task resolution works and how good your result was, from epic fail to legendary results. This concludes the short introduction of the web interface for the Gaussian-based role-playing system GABAROS. And thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to your input if you have any. Take care and goodbye.